Hardy's Friday Night Blitz is sponsored by Hardy's, Don Hudson Insurance, Muckadoos, Wicked Diesel, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jermaine Farrell, hoping your day is wonderful and blessed. Welcome to Hardy's Friday Night Blitz, Week 6 of the high school football season. The midway point, highlights of 15 games, and we kick off the action with our game of the week.
Now, the Hardy's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week, sponsored by Don Hudson Insurance.
Our Hardy's Friday Night Game of the Week for Week 6 takes us to Highlander Heaven in a battle of Three Rivers District unbeatens for the second straight week as the 4-0 Glenver Highlanders are hosting the 5-0 Radford Bobcats. This is the 28th meeting. Radford leads the series 14-13, but Glenver has had Radford's number. They won the last 3 meetings, in fact, all by a total of 7 points, including last year in Radford 37-34. The Highlanders had the week off, while Radford beat Allegheny 49-22 last week. Let's go to Highlander Heaven. It's a big one over at the stadium. We get the party started in the first quarter. Brody Doyat, he's going to hand the ball off, but there's a fumble on the play, and Radford's Reese Honecker would recover. A few plays later, though, the Bobcats, yes, the Bobcats are going to march down the field, do a little something about Landon Clark to Luke Woodard. Luke, I'm in the end zone. Touchdown, the Cats would convert the 2-point conversion, so it's 8-0 Radford. Glenver will get the ball back. Doyat's going to go to the air. He's going to get some. Haterade, it's Woodard. He scored a touchdown. He got a pick. Way to go with the turnover. Radford back in the driver's seat. This was a neat play. How about Clark handing off to Sincere Taylor, who goes to the air. It's Max Knight. MK, touchdown in the back of the zone. The Cats take a 15-0 lead. Later, more Bobcats back in the red zone. They're paying rent there. Clark fakes the handoff. He's going to call his own number. Jukes and jives. Touchdown. Radford up 22-0. Second quarter, Radford would have their way with Glenver all night with defense. Clark is going to find Brandon Thompson into the zone. That's a touchdown. Radford in control. 29-0 at the half. Radford makes a statement to go to 6-0 with a 36-3 win over Glenver. Ryan Moy gives us a wrap-up from Highlander Heaven.
Well, for tonight's game of the week, Radford taking on Glenver. It was all about a defensive performance versus an offensive one, as we usually see from the Bobcats, but they were able to get the job done once again to remain undefeated on the season.
We got a chip on our shoulder. It feels like every game we're hated because we're undefeated. But we come out, we have our game plan. We do what we do what we can do in practice, and our game plan, we set it perfectly, so we're good.
You know, I felt really good about the plan coming in. You know, I feel like our execution was pretty flawless. So it's a credit. It's credit to the staff. It was really a credit to the kids. They went out there and they made a ton of plays. We just asked for relentless effort for 48 minutes, and we got it. We got it in all 3 phases.
I mean, this game was personal to us. We've lost 4 straight years, and we wanted to set a statement early, and that's what we did.
They were able to get some pressure on them, you know, and that's kind of our MO. That's kind of how we play defense. We want to attack, and those guys did a great job, you know, getting pressure to a really good quarterback. Man, you know, they're not giving us a trophy tonight, right? So there's a long way to go. And that's just the absolute truth. Does it feel really good to always win? It does. It does. You know, our guys like to win. Probably not as much as they hate losing. So certainly, you know, it does feel good, but it's a small sliver of celebration, and then we're on to next week, you know, in a hurry.
Well, the Bobcats proved that it's not just their offense but their defense that can turn the tide in games, and they proved it right here at Highlander Stadium. Next on deck, they face James River, and just a quick reminder, they are still undefeated on the season. At Highlander Stadium in Roanoke County, Ryan Moy, WFXR Sports.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Staying in Roanoke County and Vinton, Bob Patterson Stadium, William Byrd taking on their county rivals in K-Spring. Military Appreciation Night in the house. The Terriers with names of fallen service members from the Vietnam veterans. K-Spring, however, would score first as quarterback Garrett Lonker would throw for 6, hitting Owen Sweeney for the touchdown. That put the Knights up 6-0, but it was a lead that would not last as William Byrd, they would come back in the second half, and they win this matchup 14-12 over Cave Spring. Meanwhile, James River with homecoming dreams. To end a 2-game lose streak, they would host Carroll County, and it was homecoming in Buchanan, depending on how you want to say it. The Cavaliers with the ground game of our Bryce Smoot breaking off something proper with a nice little run down the sideline. And it was so nice, let's do it twice. Bryce Smoot running hard, young fella. You got one on the horse collar. After a blocked punt, the Smoot would get that touchdown there, made it 7-0 Cavs, and Carroll County to get the shutout. They win 14-0. The Knights dropped their 3rd in a row. Off to Appomattox Bragg Stadium, where the Raiders hosting the Alta Vista Colonels. The Colonels were up 30-7 in the second, and the Raiders, Daniel Bradley, going to break off a nice little run, and he is in the clear. Look at that, the touchdown, cutting the Alta Vista lead to 30-14, but the Colonels had an answer all night long. Like Lionel Richie, all night long. The Colonel cheerleaders say, hey, we got something for you, Alta Vista, and the Appomattox team there. How about this? LaDanian Stone rocks his way in for the score. It was 36-14 Alta Vista, and the Colonels, they get a big win at Bragg Stadium tonight, 56-16 over Appomattox. Staying in the Dogwood, William Campbell hosting Nelson County. Former Glass QB and Texana Andre Kendrick checking out the action. Campbell already up 7-6, and William Campbell, the Generals. EJ Elijah Jackson runs it in for the score. And it was so nice, we had to do a backflip. Yes, gymnastics. I give it a 10 for that flip. Meanwhile, William Campbell again. How about Xavier Day? All day touchdown. William Campbell will go on to roll the Governors of Nelson County, winning that one 31-6. Coming up, we have Hardy's Friday Night Blitz Week 2 action. We're going over to Patriot Stadium as we check out Patrick Henry as they take on Pulaski County in a River Ridge District matchup. Stick and stay, please.
Now, Hardy's Friday Night Blitz Band of the Week. And now, back to the Hardy's Friday Night Blitz on WFXR. Time to get it on.
And welcome back, good peeps, to Hardy's Friday Night Blitz. David the Guzman in the house. And David, you had a tour of the River Ridge District. You made a couple of stops, one at Roanoke and one at Salem.
Yeah, Jermaine, thank you very much. On this final Friday of September, Patrick Henry looking to bounce back from its first loss of the season last week against Salem. The Patriots back home tonight, taking on a Pulaski County squad that hasn't won since the opening Friday of the season. The Cougars trying to snap a 3-game losing skid. The Patriots still without Joey Beasley, the senior quarterback, injured his ankle last week against the Spartans. Will pick things up in the second quarter. Pulaski on 4th down. The Cougars feeling 22, handing it off to number 22, Trevor Gallimore, who refuses to go down until he's over the goal line. Talk about fighting for every inch. Touchdown Cougars. They'd add a 2-point conversion to get within 5, trailing 13-8 at the half. Then in the third quarter, purple ball, Quiley Carter. You've got a fast car and I want a ticket to anywhere. The junior drives the Patriots into the end zone for the touchdown. It's a 2-score game, 20-8. Still in the third, though, the Cougars not giving up. They'll chuck the ball over to Chase Lawrence, the junior, able to get over the goal line for the score to get back within 5, but it is all smiles from the Patriots tonight, who get the win 48-22. Meanwhile, Salem hosting Hidden Valley. It did not take long at all for the Spartans to find the end zone here on the punt return. From the Titans, it's Peyton Lewis who turns this into a track meet from midfield, avoids the tackles, and sees nothing but daylight. The senior giving Salem a 7-0 lead just 50 seconds into the contest. On the next Spartans drive, Lewis again handed the ball. He'll rumble his way into the end zone. The future Tennessee Volunteer giving Salem a 14-0 lead. And then just minutes later, how about a hat trick? Who else but Peyton Lewis finds a hole, finds an angle, finds his way home. Salem dominating tonight as the Spartans win 51-0. And next up for Salem, the Spartans will travel to Pulaski County. Meanwhile, Hidden Valley still looking for its first win of the year. The Titans have their Roanoke County rivalry game with Cave Spring next Friday as we turn the calendar to October. Jermaine?
Thank you so much, David, and I'm sure we'll see those sweaters you've been talking about. A little chill in the air, but, you know, we'll get a little weather action. Anyway, we go to Viking Stadium in Roanoke County. The Heritage Pioneers taking on the Northside Vikings in a matchup of 2-2 teams. Now, this is the first meeting between these teams in 5 years. Heritage on a 2-game losing streak, having only scored a touchdown in their last 2 games. Northside had the week off to prepare. So we go over to Viking Stadium. Heritage leading this one 6-0 in the second. Pioneers at the 3-yard line. Zaid Holloway makes it his way. Touchdown. Heritage with a 12-0 lead after the missed 2-point conversion. Then Northside trying to get back in it. Angel Rigney doing it all, moving around. He's going to run, and he's going to cough up the football with that back hit there. Colton Webster, CW, is going to recover for the Pioneers. That would lead to this. Heritage's Aiden Slash, that's a cool name for QB, going to the air. Quintez Petty gets it in there. 12-yard touchdown pass, 19-0 Heritage. But again, Rigney trying to drop back the pass, and that Pioneer defense was game tonight. Braylon Horsley is going to get the interception. Heritage ends their 2-game losing streak with a 40-7 win over Northside. Our second game featuring our Seminole District team visiting a Blue Ridge District team. Brookville taking on Franklin County. Brookville, they would get on the board first. Elijah Hutchinson Hughes, the law firm, gets it in with a 2-point conversion. Brookville up 8-0. It's now 16-0 Brookville, but Franklin County off of a fumble recovery. How about Winston Davenport to David Casey? Casey does the rest. He is gone for the touchdown. Brookville's lead is cut to 16-6. And the combination was so nice. Let's see it one more again. Again, one more again. Yes, it's going to be Winston Davenport from distance. Going to hook up with guess who? That's David Casey. His combination so cool. Again, we had to see it again. Touchdown. Brookville had their lead cut to 16-13. The Eagles, they come back. They get into the win column with a 26-22 win over the Bees. We started this block in the Star Seed. Let's end it there. William Fleming Colonels hosting the Halifax County Comets. The Comets, coached by former William Fleming head coach right there, Robert Sinsney. And last time these teams met was back in 2012. Let's go to the first corner. Colonels, Tijuan, Preston, TP, are you with me? An 8-yard score, 7-0 Fleming. Then the Colonels, Jasir Preston to Kai Jordan. Look at the one-handed snag. That was so nice. But Jordan wasn't done with cool catches. How about this? Preston going to KJ. He got 1 foot in. That's all you need. The cool kids are doing it. 14-0, an 11-yard score there. Then the Colonels, Preston, he went to the air making moves. He's going to try to find someone. You know what? Hey, I'm just going to do it myself. JP, Jasir Preston running hard. 21-0 Fleming at this point. And the Colonels, they double up the Comets 42-12. Coming up on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz with scores and highlights. As we do it first, we have our last batch of highlights, plus our player of the week with Ryan Moy. Stick and stay, please.
And now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Hardee's Fan Cam, sponsored by Hardee's. And now, back to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz on WFXR.
Time to get it on.
Welcome back to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz as we're going to take a trip over to Christiansburg. Actually, Christiansburg Blue Demons, perfect 5-0 in the season, had a big challenge in the form of a multiple state champion in Riverhead. So to Greenville will go. This is the first meeting between the teams up in Greenville, first ever meeting. Riverhead's going to get the party started here. Jonathan Talbert is going to get to the outside. He's going to run all the way down the sideline, and he gets it in there to territory. Meanwhile, Christiansburg had a touchdown here, but the bad snap. So at this point, it's 7-6 in the second quarter. But Christiansburg will have the ball. Our man, 100 grand. Tanner Evans breaks off something. He's in a clear touchdown. Blue Demons would go for 2, and they would get it. So they would go up 14-7. Meanwhile, another Christiansburg possession finds the end zone of Tanner Evans, gets it in. The Blue Demons had a 21-7 lead going into the locker room at half. But Riverheads, they come back and hand Christiansburg their first loss on the year, 24-21. Meanwhile, how about this rivalry? The renewal of the Maroon Tide rivalry. George Wythe visiting Galax, both teams with some momentum after a tough start on the season. It was a rough start for George Wythe, giving up 2 fumbles to start the game, including this one, which would lead to some George Wythe action or Galax there. 4th and 1. How about Ted Run Tucker, T-squared, getting one into the pay window. punches that in. So Galax would be up 14-0. To the second quarter on a 1st and 15 from the Georgia West 19, Tommy Jones, TJ going for the bomb into the end zone. Colton Coombs, touchdown Galax. They had the lead 27-5, and Galax evens their record at 3-3 with a 34-19 win over George Wythe. Pair of 3-1 teams and first-year head coaches at these schools, Jeremiah Brokenborough for Perry McClure and Zane Quisenberry for Fort Chiswell. Both teams hungry to do something here in Max Meadows. A minute into the first quarter, Aaron Pridd, he's going to do something, carried into the pay window. That's a touchdown for Perry McClure. With the extra point, they would get the lead. And then just 7 seconds left in the quarter, Pioneers. Leighton Kennedy brings their first and only touchdown of the night. And the Pioneers, they would go ahead and get the extra point here as they go to the air. And yeah, there it is right there. That's a touchdown for the Pioneers as they get one in there. Perry McClure goes on and wins over Fort Chiswell tonight, 22-7. Norcross hitting the road to face Blue Ridge near Charlottesville. Second quarter, 8-0 Blue Ridge on a 4th and goal. Tristan Lang tries to run in himself, but he gets stopped on the goal line by Blue Ridge. But the Raiders would not be stopped. Brock Miles is going to call his own number, plows his way in, hands it off to Cam Johnson for the score. Norcross down 1 at the half. The Raiders, they bounce back to go to 4-2 with the road win over Blue Ridge, 24-15. We wrap up the highlight reel over Vineyard Park. Roanoke Catholic taking on Franklin for the first time. The score tied at 8. We start the second half. Roanoke Catholic's DeMarcus Brown. What can he do for you? How about take one, juking and jiving, and he is gone to the house for that touchdown. And that would be an 80-yard return, and that would make it 16-8 Roanoke Catholic. Franklin comes right back, though. How about Trayvon Torrance? Somewhere in that mass of humanity, you see a score. Yeah, he got it in there. Goes to the pay dirt. Looked like a rugby scrum. Tied at 16, and Franklin would go on to win over Roanoke Catholic 36-30.
Now, Hardy's Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week, sponsored by Wicked Diesel.
Well, this week's athlete doesn't really need an introduction, but I'm going to give you one anyway. Not only did he have over 250 yards and 4 touchdowns in his team's 44-20 win over Pulaski County last Friday, he is the reigning Player of the Year. And guess what? He is back as your Player of the Week.
Tanner Evans, quarterback safety, Christiansburg High School. It started kind of in last week. We knew they scheduled their homecoming game for us. We really just took it personal. The coaches really just put together a great game plan, and then our O-line executed and allowed me and the running backs to just do all we could, and just they created nice gaps for us. It's almost same as the past year. We have honestly a whole new mentality, younger guys stepping up, and it just allows the older guys to step into leadership roles, and the coaches do not have to do as much and just let the seniors step up and do their thing.
To be an extension of Coach Wilkins, what does that mean to you?
It's good, just knowing that they respect me like they do the coaches, and just knowing that they trust me to do everything that I can. The senior class has just really stuck together since middle school, rec ball. We just all stuck it out, and we're all playing this year too.
Talk to me about who Tanner Evans is now.
Really just anything I can be, to be honest. Just trying to just leave it all out there for the senior year and just show what I truly am to the community and to the school. To put on the number 4 and just represent my sister's best friend, it just means everything to me. Just knowing that the New River Valley especially gets slept on from like the whole rest of the state, and just knowing that we can go out and show people up and just really show who we are. Christiansburg in general means the world to me, just to all the supporters, to the administration at the school coming up to you, oh, good game last week, and the people in the school just high-fiving you when you come by, just means the world.
Up next, we put a wrap on the Hardy's Friday Night Blitz. Thank you so much, Ryan. We have our latest unsung hero, or heroes in this case, and our play of the night. Stick and stay, please.
And now, the Maca Did It Play of the Night, sponsored by McAdoo's.
Our Maca Did It Play of the Night, Radford's Landon Clark hands it off to Cecile Taylor, who hooks up with Max Knipe in end zone for the touchdown. The Bobcats roll tonight. Clark, Taylor, Knipe, the law firm, gets our Maca Did It Play of the Night.
And now, it's Hardy's Friday Night Blitz Unsung Hero, celebrating those who keep the game moving, sponsored by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
It is Unsung Hero time, and this week the honorees are the North Cross Lower School grade girls. Now, these group of girls are part of the Unicorn Society Animal Rescue Team. Last Friday during the North Cross football game, they held a lemonade and bake sale to raise money for the Roanoke Valley Horse and Rescue. According to the Roanoke Valley Horse and Rescue website, the organization is focused on the prevention of equine abuse. Their paddocks are open to abused, neglected, starved, and slaughter-bound horses. The Roanoke Valley Horse Rescue, Inc. provides educational opportunities to the general public on horsemanship, horse care, and safety. Now, the North Cross teacher told me they plan on visiting the Roanoke Valley Horse Rescue later this year. They raised $360 during their fundraiser, so congratulations to the North Cross Lower School grade girls, this week's Unsung Heroes. Now, if you guys out there have an unsung hero you would like to spotlight on the Hardy's Friday Night Blitz, please email me, jfarrell@wfxrtv.com. We appreciate all the candidates for consideration. Well, folks, that does it for this edition of the Hardy's Friday Night Blitz. Don't forget, tomorrow, UVA Boston College on our sister station, WWCW2. We'll have this show on WFXRTV.com momentarily. Thank you so much for watching the show. I'm Jermaine Farrell. Hope all of your teams are winners. Have a wonderful and blessed weekend and night, everybody.